So I've always been a gamer my entire life, like since the very beginning. I had an NES, a Sega. Me and my brother always went through. We had an N64, a PlayStation, moved on to like GameCube, and then Wii, and I started off playing a lot of Halo PC. My brother, he's 2.5 years older than me. He was actually the one that first introduced me to Counter-Strike. I always like looked up to my brother and I wanted to do stuff that he did. He's the one that's definitely pushed me a lot and pursuing opportunities, helping me out, when things get kind of rough. He was actually the one that first introduced me to Counter-Strike. I think it was like 2004, 2005. He bought Half-Life 2, and that game came with Counter-Strike Source. He told me, oh, I should check out this game. I should play with him. And then we used to play like versus each other, but we had bots on our team every day. And me and him started playing CS a lot together. He was definitely the one that got me into CS, got me into gaming. My name's Shahzeb Khan, also known as ShahZaM, and I'm the upper for Complexity CSGO. In high school and college, my parents used to always tell me to focus on my studies, to not play so many video games, get off my computer once in a while. When Cloud9 offered me my first professional contract, that required me traveling a lot, and I would probably have to leave school. It was a risk. It wasn't like, a whole lot of money. Already made up my mind in my own head that, I was gonna pursue this. But I did call them and I talked to my dad and my mom. I was surprised because, they were supportive. They did admit they were a little cautious, but my brother definitely did some convincing to them. But my dad told me that, he understands that in life, I'm not always gonna have opportunities like this. And school will almost always be there, so that I should go for it. And that placed really well on me, and that gave me the full confidence in myself that this is something I should try. Winning a major with my parents and my brother in the crowd, that would definitely be an emotional moment, but it would be my happiest.
4-on-2, Shahzam's gonna rotate in with that off. Nice shot on nothing. Another one! Oh, Mom Spaghetti, I called it. He's back in this round. And a third one on Shroud. Can you believe it? It's looking like GG, and time will expire.
So to start with my actual professional career, in my third year of college, I was playing with a team called Denial, and we went to an ESEA LAN, and we were kind of the underdogs and upset, North America's best team, Cloud9. And that following weekend, they offered me a contract. I'd say that things went really well at first, but then, it was my first, I went from going to no lands to competing internationally, and it was a really big jump ahead that maybe I wasn't quite ready for yet. After roster changes, I moved on to creating a team with some of my ex-teammates from Denial called Conquest, which then became Optic for a year. Following that, I joined up with Sean Garris, my previous teammate on Cloud9. We played the whole year under Echofox. I feel like we did a lot of things that people didn't expect of us. Every year I've stuck with a team, and then the team has either parted ways or some of us just chose different routes. 1 year Optic, and then a whole year Echofox split. Whole year Misfits, didn't want to resign, took a better offer. I would like that to be a different story. As I've gotten a little bit older, being a good role model to kids is something that's become a lot more important to me. I know that my laugh has a lot of videos on YouTube with many, many views, and it's become really popular on the internet.
It's like, what's your name?
It's cool. It's also slightly embarrassing sometimes, because people will be family members will even say that they saw the video of me laughing like a maniac, and I just can't help but feel a little embarrassed. A lot of times fans will come up to me and tell me they love my laugh, and that makes me feel really happy. My most memorable experience with a fan has to be my very first international tournament. It was in Poland. It was the major qualifier. It was in a small room in the hotel. I didn't expect a whole lot of people to show up, but maybe 30, 40 fans did. One fan in particular came to me with a mug, a Poland mug with the Polish flag on it, and he brought it to me. It was because one day when I was streaming prior to the event, he asked if I could bring him one of our jerseys, which was just a t-shirt with all of our players' signatures on it, to the event. He told me he'd be there, and back then I didn't have a lot of fans. I didn't have a lot of. It had a lasting impression on me that he would go out of his way to just bring this just for me, and I still have that mug. If you ask me about my image, let's say 3-4 years ago, I would say I was definitely not the best role model. I was just a kid with no filter. But now I feel like I do a pretty good job at being someone kids can look up to. I've definitely learned over the past couple of years, being a top player in Counter-Strike isn't only just about your skill set and how good you're performing. You know, you have to learn how to work with teammates. Looking back to that like internal dispute me and Peter had 2 years ago on Optic, and when it got publicized, it kind of created like a toxic reputation for myself. I was really upset that that happened. I know it was fueled with emotion, but I do think some of the things said were unfair. But I realized that, you know, I have to just look at myself as a player and a person and realize that's someone I don't want to be. And if my teammates perceived it that way, then maybe there's something I could have done to prevent that.
Hey everyone, my name is Jason Lake and I'm founder and CEO of Complexity Gaming, and today I'm making this video to talk to our fans a little bit about our Counter-Strike team. Complexity was born in the Counter-Strike world and it's always been really near and dear to our hearts. We think we're in for a big upgrade. We're super excited to announce Stanislaw and ShahZaM over from Optic. We're really excited about this new team. Welcome Stan and Shaz to Complexity Gaming, and get ready, because 2018 is going to produce a winner here.
I do feel like this is an entirely new beginning for me, joining Complexity. You know, I'm playing with a completely different set of players that I really haven't played with before. I'm playing with an IGL and a new system that I feel like will give me a chance to show what's best in me. I'm playing in a situation where I feel like I'm really taken care of, and I'm really happy. It's already pretty obvious that the org's really passionate about Counter-Strike and like deeply rooted into it. My experiences, even within just this last month, have been nothing less than amazing. I've been taken care of as a player and treated in a way that, you know, I've never really experienced with any other org. Complexity really makes sure that I'm as comfortable as I can be and I can just focus on my game. And you know, when you have like these other outside factors outside of just CS and like with the org and, you know, just a lack of care or backing from the org, you know, it makes it really tough as a player to just focus on the game and focus on being like a competitive team. With this roster, we have to take things step by step. These guys are playing with a completely new IGL now. They're playing with a different opera now. Got to first focus on becoming a top team in North America. While doing that, we need to focus on becoming a team that can compete on the international stage. From there, we got to focus on being a team that can win big tournaments. Representing Complexity means a lot to me because, you know, growing up as a CS player, Complexity was always the top, if not one of the best, if not the best team in North America. Even going to CSGO while I was a competitor, like, you know, like top of Esea, with Frost Gaming, went to Esea LAN. We actually played Complexity and we lost, but I was still like a fan of the team. A fan of Sean and Nothing and Semvis and Hiko and Brax, of course. And I remember staying up all night, sitting in my bed because I was home that weekend for school on my laptop, watching Complexity play and watching that Inferno match versus Viagame where they upset them. I remember it really vividly and how excited I was, and never did I expect that, you know, just a couple years later I'd be playing under the same brand. You know, I've been blessed with like having success in Counter-Strike and esports in general. I mean, that chance to like buy a nice car that I've always wanted and travel places that I never thought I could have. But you know, that wasn't always the case. Growing up, my parents were immigrants to the US. They came with almost nothing and built up, you know, our family. And then going through school, my mom worked 3 jobs just to get me and my brother through college. And while my dad was as well working very hard, you know, constantly working overtimes and stuff. And you know, it's really awesome that now I'm the one that can help support them and treat them in a way as a thank you for taking care of me growing up. For 2018, I hope that we make Complexity CSGO one of the top teams in North America again. I hope we become a team that consistently competes at the largest tournaments, and I hope we take a large title this year. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and keep your eye out for future content.
Hey guys, we release daily content, so if you liked this video, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and tune in for more Complexity content.